Hello, welcome to my Stamping A to Z series. This is episode 5 in the series. If you've missed the previous ones, you can always go back and catch them on my Facebook page and check them out. They're all there. So today for episode 5, we are looking at decorative masks and embossing paste. These are decorative masks. They can be found on page 146 of our annual catalog. Today we're going to be working with the decorative masks, which are these, the palette knives and the embossing paste. The palette knives are used to spread the embossing paste. So in the past we've had other masks available. Right now these are the 4 masks that we have. And you can make many more, as you will see as we go on. So before I get started, I just wanted to, for those who are new, this series is to help guide you through our catalog and products, since it is so huge and can be overwhelming, or sometimes you just have stuff in your drawers and you don't know what to do with them. So hopefully these episodes will inspire you to use the products that you may already have, or you might want to purchase some after you see them. It's all lots of fun. Hope you enjoy these Wednesday noon hours, get away from reality. If you know someone who might enjoy these videos, please share with them, and the more the merrier. So off we go. What are decorative masks, you ask? What can I do with them? These are the decorative masks. But first, before we get to these ones, like I said, we can actually make decorative masks out of our dies. So in this case, I have cut some dies out of the many layered blossom dies, and I'm going to use these as my masks. And I'm going to sponge a color onto some cardstock, and that will be like a mask. So I'm going to use the sponge brayer, and I'm going to use Rococo Rose and Petal Pink. So I always start with the lighter color just because I'm only going to use one brayer. So I'm going to start with this one. Now I'm kind of lazy. Some people might want to tape all this down. I don't mind kind of a frayed look to this. So I'm going to just kind of do this on the fly. So first I'm doing my petal pink, and I'm just gonna roll it on. And when you're rolling in the ink, you want to make sure you keep rolling the same way. You don't want to just go back and forth, or you won't be inking up your whole brayer. As you can see, it's not very difficult to keep it in place while you are going. Ooh, huh, I jinxed myself. Okay, so that's the first mask, and that was Petal Pink. Then I'm going to go in and take my Rococo Rose, and I'm going to take, these are a set, so they work together. So I'm just going to take off, since it's lighter, it doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to put my thicker mask on here and try and line it up as well as I can. But like I said, this look is kind of not, it's got room to wiggle. It just gives it a softer look. So you can go as dark or as light as you want. You could even do an ombre look if you wanted to kind of go darker to lighter. And you take that off, and you've got a two-tone sponged on mask look, but we used dies instead of, so this would be if you just did one color, and this is the two color into a card. So super simple, but looks really pretty. So that's the first way you can use a decorative mask, or in this case, a decorative die mask. So next up, I'm going to use one of our masks. It is this, I don't know what these are, leaves or flowers. It's a cool design anyways. And of course, I am missing my piece of paper. Okay. So if you don't like to eyeball, you can take, I don't know, washi tape is great to tape things down because it doesn't tear the paper usually when you pick it back up. And I'm going to make a frame with the washi tape. So I'm going to try and go evenly all the way around my cardstock. Okay, and then once you get your mask, you might want to tape that down as well. It's totally up to you. Am I crooked here? You can use the grid paper also to make sure your stuff is straight. Okay, so now I've got my paper, my mask, it's all taped down, shouldn't move. Now I'm so excited to show you guys these. This is another way to get your color on through this. These are our brand new blending brushes. They are coming out in our January catalog. This is just a sneak peek. I was able to get them since I went to the virtual on stage. They are so soft. So they look like they're sponges, but they're actually gazillions of bristles and they're just super soft. And just so you know, I used these with ink yesterday and then I just rinsed them off and they totally came white again. So you can use them as long as you're well, and even if you don't wash them off, I'm sure they just dry and you can use them with other colors, but just so you don't need one for every color family. Good to know. So again, I'm gonna start with my lightest color. Squeeze the lid. So this is Bumblebee. So I'm just going to pick up the color and you'll see. So I've got yellow on the brush and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to swirl it around on my mask. Stencil, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and I'm going to use orange and I won't bother taking the yellow off because I want to blend them anyways. And then I don't want to get orange in my pink, so I will use another one. So this is Flirty Flamingo. These brushes really soak up the ink. They're great. They're so soft. They're fun to use. Okay. There. Now I can lift the mask And you have a beautiful pattern. Now we could leave it like this and use it as a background, or we can go back. Oops. And we can orange. We can come back. Oh, it's going to be a little bit orangey. You can go over top of what you've already done. So it kind of gives it a different look. I think I need to learn to be a little lighter because it really glides smoothly over the paper. It's quite nice. And then back with the flirty flamingo. So then, when you pull the tape off, you want to pull it gently. You kind of want to pull it away in case something tears. So I kind of try and pull it so that it's at an angle. And then you have a nice frame around your oopsie, I pulled it the wrong way. Luckily I didn't. Okay. There, and then you have a beautifully framed background again. So I turned this into this nice fall card. Fun and simple. Okay, next, another thing you can do with these masks is actually, well, you can do it with these masks, but I'm going to do it with another die mask. You can dry emboss with them. So I cut out, again, with a die. It's from the envelope dies. And I'm going to emboss onto my envelope. So I'm going to take my pattern and I'm going to put it on my envelope. And if you have a take your pick tool, it has a spatula end, a pokey end, and then it has the two embossing ends, a bigger and a smaller. I'm using the smaller just because these are fairly small. And then you just go around and push, not firmly, but not, you don't want to break the paper. You want to have a fairly dense foam mat underneath. This is our foam mat that we used to sell, and I feel like they said they were going to continue them, but I could not find them in the catalog. So I will have to find that, or I know you can find this kind of foam mat anywhere at any craft store. These ones were designed for our photopolymer stamps since they don't have the foam backing on them, just so that you can get a better imprint. Now I kind of lost my place where I was. Should have left the branch for last. So I know on my wedding thank yous. I try and embossed a thank you on all my cards. I don't know if you can see that. So you could either have it go this way or this way, and you could like rub some color on top if you wanted to see it more. But that's just another option, and actually it works really well on vellum paper. So that's just a little another thing you can do with the masks. So next we are going to go, I'm going to show you the paste, but again, I'm going to use a die made mask. So I took the snowflake from So Many Snowflake dies. If you want one that you can reuse, like I've used some for classes or whatever, I cut it out of window sheets, and then it's just like having the masks, because with paste you have to wash it right away because the paste dries super hard. The only problem with the window sheets is, like for this snowflake, I had to run it through many times to get it to cut the window sheet, and then it doesn't lie as flat as the masks that you can buy does. So you'll see on my card, my snowflake isn't as perfect because I used the window sheet, and this time I'm going to try using, oops, I almost showed you the card. I'm going to try using just the cardstock and see if it does a better imprint. So the other thing, so these are our two pastes. We have shimmery white and we have just plain white embossing paste. I'm going to use the shimmery white since it's a snowflake. And I'm going to take our silicone sheet and I'm going to take a re-inker. This one is Misty Moonlight. I'm going to take a little bit of our, actually I don't want this. So these are the palette knives. There's 3 of them that come in a set. I think I'm going to use this. I'll use this to mix it first. Okay, so again, don't leave your jar open because it will dry on you. And it dries rock solid. Now I know I did see someone post somewhere that you can get it soft again. I'll have to look it up and do another video on how to get your paste soft again. So even though they're white, you can make your paste. This is just 1 drop, so it's pretty dark. You can make your paste any color that you want. So this one's going to be Misty Moonlight. Sky's the limits on paste color. So I'm going to take let's move this over. Use this flatter one. I'm going to make sure I take a baby wipe and wipe this so it doesn't harden on me. So you either want to work close to a sink or have some baby wipes or a bucket of warm water so that it doesn't harden on you. So then I'm just going to take my paste and I'm going to scrape it, and let's see how we did. Yeah, this worked way better than the window sheet. So if you're only doing a couple and you're doing them all right away, the cardstock works better than the window sheet. I just have a little bit of smudge there. But yeah, so you could do that in any color, any shape, anything that you have dies for, you can do, and you can do it with the masks as well. So this is the card I made. But again, so as you can see, it smudged a lot more using the window sheet, and it's just because it doesn't sit flat. So if anyone has a trick for cutting out window sheets and getting it to lie flat, let me know. So that's that one. Let me just wipe this again. Like I said, I don't want to waste should have made another card so I didn't waste this. This doesn't totally dry. Okay, there we go. Next, what else can we do with these masks and paste? We can use, so previously we had paste that was silver, and I can't remember if we had gold, but we had issues with it being runny, so they don't carry it anymore. So how do you get paste in the metallic series of life? I will show you. So you can take a piece of paper again, and I'm going to take this mask this time. So I've already got the tape on from another one that I did, and I'm just going to, pardon my head in the camera, and again I want a little frame. So this time the purpose of my frame is not to use it on a card, it's so that I have a place to hold it when I'm playing with it with the embossing powders. So first I'm going to put some paste down. I'm not going to use the shimmery white, this time I'm going to use the white, just so you can see the difference. Make sure my blue is off of here. Okay, so this is the plain white. I don't know if you can see the difference on camera. But again, you just want to layer it on. And then you can just scrape it off and layer it. Yeah, good thing it's taped. Just a wee bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to scrape it. Close the lid tight so that doesn't harden. Wipe my knife. And then I'm just going to look and make sure. So you kind of want to tilt it. Make sure that you've got paste everywhere. I do. So then I'm just going to take it and lift it up. And then I have a beautiful paste. Let me just wipe this down. Sorry, all this wiping. Just so, because if you go to reuse it and you've got paste all over it, it's hard to get that nice smooth wipe. So there we go. So this is still wet. So while it is still wet, I don't need Versamark, which you usually need to put embossing powder. I will go more in depth into embossing powder next week. That is on the agenda for episode 6. But for now, I'm just going to do this quick so you can see having silver and gold embossing powder or embossing paste coloring. So I'm just going to take the embossing powder and I'm going to put it on my card, and then I'm going to take that off. The silver. And we'll do the same thing with the gold. Now, even though I'm putting it on top of the silver, since the silver is already there, the gold shouldn't stick. And now you know why I needed a space around my card so that I could hold without smudging the paste. There. So it still doesn't look silver and gold. So now that aside. We'll take our heat gun. If I can, I don't know if I can reach it. And then I use my, just so I don't burn my fingers. Now you don't want to hold this too long in one spot or just too much because it will start to bubble. But just like on regular paper, the embossing powder will emboss on the paste, and then you'll have, oh, see it's starting to bubble. I'm too close. Too impatient. You would just keep going until it got shiny, but this is taking forever, so I won't torture you with making it all shiny. But you can see it's starting to emboss in places, and then so then you have the raised paste and the embossing powder on top, which is kind of cool. You could do it with the white or clear embossing powder as well if you wanted to kind of do a negative color. But I just wanted to show you for now the metallic paste. So this is the metallic paste, and then I use the Christmas gleaming set on top. So it's just another way to use your paste. I have one last way that you can use your paste, color your paste, do something different. And it is with, so this is watercolor paper. I pre-did, this is the shimmery white paste, and I just let it dry. So it's watercolor paper and dried paste. Since it's watercolor paper, it likes to soak up the water, so I'm just gonna spray it with some water just to help me out with my watercolor. Then I'm going to do a watercolor wash on the background, and it actually takes to it. So again, start with the lightest color. I'm going to use our water painters. I'm going to use the nice, I love this big fat brush. We've never had one before until these new ones. And again, I think they can be found on that page. Yeah, on page 147, 146, you can find them. So you're just going to come in and you're just going to wash the color. Should have used reinkers for this. It's easier. This is a pretty light color. So this is another way of getting color onto the paste, kind of like when we colored the paste with the snowflake, only it's the paste and your cardstock that you're coloring this time. It's a little bit different look. And this is Coastal Cabana. Goes nicely into the pool party. And then we're going to do Pretty Peacock. And I haven't been washing my brush in between simply because I'm going lighter to darker. It doesn't really matter as much. So that is wet. It will lighten as it dries, but you can see that the paste kind of picks up the color a little bit. This was a little light, so it's hard to see. So the darker colors work better. And then, again, another sneak peek. This dragonfly is from one of the new stamp sets that's coming out in January. But this is the dried version. So pretty. Many ways to use your embossing paste and decorative masks. So that is all I have for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed learning new ways to use your masks, making masks, and using your embossing paste. Next week for episode 6, we're going to be looking at embossing powder and different ways of using that, and the embossing folders. And also, as a bonus, I'm going to show you the advent calendar and all the ways that you can use it beyond an advent calendar. It is currently in our Christmas catalog or holiday catalog. I think it's technically called August to December catalog, so it will end in December, and December 1st is coming. So if you need an advent calendar, that'll be a good one to watch. So hope you had fun, and take care, stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks, bye.